Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio and welcome back to my channel. I appreciate everyone being here today. We are going to do the 50 Stack Challenge 2, which is a challenge hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. And what she does is she draws 2 prompts every Monday that are opposites, and you're to make 2 pieces of ephemera or artwork or whatever you like using each of the prompts. Excuse me, I chose to do altered playing cards, and I keep them in this little box so that when I make journals, I can go through them and decide if I want to use any of the cards in my journals. And last week we did Lady and Gentleman, and these are the 2 cards that I made. And these are like a little altered paper clip that come off. So today we are doing like and dislike. And so I am going to go the botanical route this week. And I'm also going to do a little bit of something different with the cards. Whenever I do an altered card, I always do them like this. I guess because that's how you play cards. They're up like this. Today I'm going to turn it this way because why not? I just thought that I would do it for something different and to see how it would come out. So that's what we're going to do. And I am going to start by putting this paper down. A lot of this won't be shown or showing once the card is done, but I'm doing it kind of for 2 reasons. One is I want some of this text in the background, even if it's just a little bit showing. And the other is I want to cover my card so that I have a good background for if I choose to stamp or do some other things on my card. I have a good surface to do that, and I don't have to worry about it maybe not sticking or smearing or stuff like that. Even though these cards are pretty papery, they're not the slick kind of cards. I feel like it's going to help have a better grip. And I'm going to tear it in such a way that you can still see that there's a card underneath. Kind of like that. But it still has something interesting to see too. So I'm going to ink that and get that on. Kind of age it up a little bit. So how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is dealing all right with the weather. It seems to be kind of crazy out there right now, and I hope if you're in the smoke area that you're surviving that okay. That seems to be, ours has cleared out. We had some storms and rain, and I think it kind of pushed, you know, whatever we were getting, which wasn't a lot, it kind of pushed it out. So we're pretty good on that level right now. Okay, so let's start by gluing this down. I've just got a little piece of manila folder over here that I'm going to use to glue on. So this challenge is just about over, and I heard Amy say on Monday that she would be starting another one. So if you're just now joining and you think, oh, you know, it's too late, she is going to start another one, and she's going to do, I believe her prompts are going to be Christmas. So that will be kind of neat to do something this time of year to build up your ephemera for Christmas, because if you guys are like me, I don't do a lot of Christmas journals, but I do tags and ephemera for journals that I sell in my shop, and so that'll be a great way to build up stock to put in my shop later. So I'm looking forward to that. Now I'm going to take this pencil, and again, not a lot of this is going to show, and I'm going to put some splatters on here. I may have to I'm going to switch over to ground espresso so I can get them a little darker, and so they stand out from what I just did. Okay, so there's our background. Alright, so for my light, I have picked a butterfly. I love butterflies. We have a lot of them here. So I am going to put these flowers down. I may have to cut them off a little bit. And then I made just like this little specimen tag, and I put a gold you know, my mind just went totally blank. Brad, goodness gracious, in here, and then I smashed it with a hammer to make it look dented, and I use my little upholstery hammer, but I think Tim Holtz has a hammer as well that he just came out with, but any kind of hammer will do. And you just kind of, I cover the brad with like a piece of soft cloth and then hit it with the hammer so it gets a dent in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm going to put that on here, and I'm going to glue it like it's a pocket. So I actually need to put that down first, and I'm going to use art glitter glue for that. And it just has a piece of black cardstock backing it. Okay, and then I'm going to put the flowers down. And they are out of the antiquarian sticker book. I just stuck them on some book page and then cut them closer than what they are in the book, because I don't like that border that is on the stickers. Cut that little hanging part off. Okay, now I've got just a little tag that I'm going to stick down in here. I didn't glue that down, did I? I may be going to stick it down in here. No, I didn't. I don't think. No, I didn't. Maybe I did. Where are you sticking? Okay, let's find something to see what's going on. Oh, seems loose. Seems loose. I'm going to move it over here closer to me so I can really get down in there. There we go. And that's also going to serve as my tab. I've been putting a tab on all of my cards. And then this is just a little ticket, and the main reason I'm using that is because I want the red number. It doesn't really serve any purpose. Other than I want that red on there. Okay, and then here's my butterfly, and I'm going to, I believe, just put a partial, kind of like that. And again, this is out of the Antiquarian sticker book, and I just trimmed around it. And I do put it on book page first because I find that it's easier to cut if it's not sticky on the back. Put a little bit more on here because it is going to be a little bit more than half. Just like that. When I need to ink the back of that tag, it's way too white on the back there. There we go. All right, so there is our like. Now, like I said, love butterflies, but guys, I hate caterpillars. And before you send me any hate mail, I don't kill them because I realize their importance, but I'm not going to touch one either. I think it's the legs. I don't like the little creepy legs that they have. But if we didn't have these, we wouldn't have these, right? So, still, don't like them. Don't like them one little bit. So again, I'm going to, might leave the number at the bottom this time. Yep, not a fan of the caterpillars. I think part of it is, other than the creepy legs, my little sister, my middle sister, got stung by one time when we were little. And that was the creepiest looking thing I have ever seen in my life. It's funny how when you're young and you get traumatized by something, how it ends up affecting you pretty much forever. For example, another thing that I hate, and I almost did, and then I saw that creepy caterpillar in the book, seafood. I hate seafood. I grew up in Charleston, where seafood was everywhere, and everybody ate seafood, and not me. Can't stand it. Don't like fish, don't like shellfish, don't like anything about it. But I think part of the reason that I'm just traumatized by seafood, and yes, I can say traumatized, is because I had family come in from out of town because, you know, we got a lot of company because we lived where we lived, which is fine. Love my family, loved having visitors in the summer. But when I was probably about 6 or 7, I guess, somewhere in there, I had family come and visit, and we went crabbing. And I had been crabbing before, you know, being in the area. Crabbing was not a new thing. And, you know, it's really a lot of fun to crab. You use chicken wings, and you put them, you know, tie them on the end of your line, and you put the line in the water, and the crabs come and they start eating the chicken, and you slowly reel in your line, and on the end of it's a crab, and you have a net, and you get the crab, and you know, put it in your bucket. So that's what we did, is we were crabbing. No issues there. And so they got their little crabs, and they decided they were going to take them home and cook them. And I was like, well, you know, I can deal with that. I won't eat it, but I can deal with that. Well, I thought I could deal with that until I realized that in order to cook a crab, they're alive, and you throw them in the boiling water when they're alive, and I was devastated. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm telling my stories. Not that you can even see it on this one. But I was devastated because these little crabs were in this water dying. And in my mind, I could hear them screaming. And they weren't, of course. But they were scratching on the side of the pot until, you know, they died or whatever. And so, if I didn't hate seafood already, I definitely hated it after that. So, yeah, I don't eat seafood, and that's my story. Devastated by the stewing, boiling crabs. That, and I don't like the smell. We went to a lot of seafood markets. And I don't know if you've ever been to, not necessarily, you know, just the market, but where we would go would be where they had been out all day actually shrimping or, you know, catching the stuff. And so not only, you know, did they have the fresh seafood, but you could also smell where they had been shucking the oysters or, you know, shelling the shrimp, and it was all mixed in with the heat and whatever, and it was just totally disgusting. So now that I've made you all totally grossed out over my seafood stories, I kind of want to put one of these little not that you can really tell what that is, but alright, let's put some dots back on this one since I covered them all up. Okay. I talked right through that one, didn't I? So there we go. I feel like I need to maybe use my Stabilo All and bring that out just a little bit. Let's do like around his little, I didn't get that. I didn't get his little leg glued down. His little creepy leg. My worst hate, I won't say dislike, I'll say hate, is snakes. But I couldn't even get a picture of a snake. It's that bad, guys. And that's also from childhood. I was walking across the yard and one crawled across my foot, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. It was so disgusting. So yeah, I'm not a snake fan. And I know they serve their purpose. I know. But that does not make me like them anymore. But you don't have to worry about me killing one, because I'm not ever going to get close enough to one to kill it. I can guarantee you that. I will be going as fast as I can in the other direction. A Stabilo All is a pencil that was created to mark on china and glass and metal. It's a kind of a wax-based pencil, but it's water soluble, you know, so you can wash it off. And so it's really good for like shading and stuff like that, because you can put it on and then you can take some water and kind of disperse it, and it makes a really nice shadow, kind of a grungy shadow to your stuff. Okay, and the last thing I want to do before we wrap it up is I want to add some gold splatters, because I use the gold brad and the gold grommet. I'm going to do some gold splatters, and I think I'm going to do a few, maybe some black and white ones too, but for sure I want to do some gold. So I've got my Van Gogh gold. And what else do we want to use? This is oxide black. And then for the white, I'm going to use some Picket Fence Distress Paint by Tim Holtz. I'm going to shake it up. And I'm going to use this brush that I intentionally let get hard so that it does some nice splatters. And I need some water. Okay. So let's see. Let's do... Actually, I don't think I'm going to do black. There's a lot of black on there. So let's do some white ones. And this has a dauber, is why I'm opening it, instead of squirting it out the top, because it has a dauber on the top of it. It's, well, I obviously don't need that much. We'll be putting that on a scrap piece somewhere to use later. All right. I'm going to water both of these down. What a mess I have made there. It's not watery enough. Let me get my scissors here. Okay. Now we'll do the gold. Need a little bit more on the butterfly side here. There we go. And like I said, I keep this intentionally stiff, so I just kind of wipe it off with a dry rag when I'm done, so it stays nice and stiff. Now, let me find something to put this excess paint on. just really made a mess there, guys. Alright, set that aside and let it dry, and that'll be some good collage fodder for another project. And then let me get a wipe, clean it up. And hopefully that's my last mess for today. I always have one. Let me wipe up my splatter excess. Oops. Y'all laughing at me. I'm just making it worse. Let's do it with this one. I keep hitting that piece of paper I put over there is the problem. There we go, all better. So not only did you learn how to make a couple of altered cards, you also learned how to clean up a mess. So there we go. I'll show you up close, and of course when they dry they'll look just a little different. But there's my like. And there is my dislike. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I think this is 47 and 48. So there'll be one more week of this one. I believe that's what we're on. And then, you know, she'll announce her new ones. So be sure and hop over to her channel so you'll know, you know, when she gets started on it. And I hope everybody joins in. Her challenges have been really fun. And they're good exercise to do once a week to kind of do something, you know, a little different. And I guess these should go this way, like and dislike. So until Thursday, when we're back for, no, I'm wrong. See, I always get this mixed up with my color combo. I'll actually be back on Sunday for just some general journaling. So hope to see you then. Bye.